Annie Nguyen, and this is my cultural artifact speech. So let me ask you guys, do you guys ever wonder what's the most iconic and most popular hat in Asian culture? Well, you guessed it, it's a rice paddy hat. So a little bit about this hat is that it's been around for many generations and it's served generations after generations. And it's said to be one of the most, like I said earlier, it's said to be one of the most iconic hats in our culture. And I've been wearing this hat when I was around 5 to I believe around when I was 12. Now it's been around part of my past for a good period of time. So in my speech, I'll be talking about the background of the past, the hat and the past, and also the present and its sole purpose today. So this is the background of it. So the hat, like I said earlier, has been around for many generations. It's very popular in many countries such as China, India, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, and the Philippines, etc. So it served many people. So if you go to Asia, you'll see many people wearing them. You'll see soldiers wearing them, teachers, students, street vendors, to normal people, and of course, rice pickers. So they adopted the name rice paddy hat because the word paddy means unmilled rice. And usually it's really popular by many rice pickers, so they adopted the name rice paddy hat because the word paddy hat would just sound weird. So let me talk about the design of the hat. As you can see, it's a cone-shaped hat. It's circle, so it's not like your regular baseball hat. It's usually made out of bamboo straws, and it has a silk that will hold your head together. And this hat is different from a normal rice paddy hat because one, it's not that big, and two, is that it has silk on it, so stitching on it for design, and it's usually for collective reasoning or just festival reasonings. So depending on different countries, the hat varies from different countries and purposes. Like I said earlier, this hat can be a lot bigger when it's out, in the work field. But I've seen rice paddy hats where they're made out of plastic, sometimes metal. They're different colors and different designs. So the designs are pretty much endless and then unlimited. And these are really affordable. In my country, when I visited Vietnam, I found rice paddy hats for around like 10 cents USD. So they're very affordable, and like I said, they're really big. And you can find these almost anywhere nowadays. You can find them in Chinatown, Asian supermarkets, so pretty much anywhere in Asia. And these are very popular to the point where they've been incorporated in movies and animes and other types of media. So a little bit about this hat in my past is that, like I said earlier, I wore this when I was 12 and sometime around when I was 5. So in the past, I wore this out in public, and I was supposed to be here, so it looks pretty weird. And so the background of this past is that I thought this was really cool, so I bought it in Chinatown. And in our tradition, the female would wear a gown during Lunar New Year, and they would usually wear a rice paddy hat with them, hence the rice paddy hat on here. So the men, we don't usually wear them, but being the stubborn child that I am, I wore it out inside during a festival, and everyone laughed at me. It's pretty funny. And my mom said it was okay. She thought it was really cute and funny since I was like this tall and I wore a rice paddy hat walking around in my Lunar New Year gown. So it's pretty funny. So that's the difference between a man and a female during Lunar New Year in my country. So a little bit about my hat is that I said earlier it's a lot smaller. So if I were to wear this right now, I would probably rip it. And I probably do not fit this anymore. And I have the traditional hat, meaning my hat's made out of bamboo straws. And I have stitching on it, so I have the stitching of my own country, the city I was from, my country, a Vietnamese girl with a rice paddy on here. I thought this was a house, but it's actually a lantern and some sort of flower. I do not know why I have that. And I also requested for these, those strings on fishing poles or fishing rods that you guys use? So it's the same material, it's to hold all the stitching together. And I believe there's like a string coming out because it's worn out and decaying. It's like a couple of years old. So yeah, I believe I bought this hat for like $2. It wasn't that much. But yeah, I bought this when I was visiting my grandparents in Vietnam. And they said that it's not for any cultural work, it's for collective reasoning. Because if this hat, if you go out in the rain or anything, it'll be ruined because of the design on it. So they said that the purpose of this hat is that since it's a circular shape, it will provide you 360 protection from the heat and the rain. That's because you guys notice how Vietnam is usually near the equator. So in the countryside, there'll usually be really humid, hot, and sometimes they'll get really heavy rainstorms. So many rice pickers would usually still go out and do their laboring, so they usually would adopt this hat and wear it during the rain or storm. So yeah. So in conclusion, this was my very own hat when I was around 5 to 12 years of age. And like I said earlier, how it's really pretty much a universal tool for many Asians. And how many people are still today, it's still very iconic. If you go to Asia, you still see people wearing them. Almost everyone wears them. And so yeah, that's pretty much my speech.